For parents, educators, or anyone who loves someone suffering from autism, there has been prescient good news to report when it comes to the fight. In fact, we've seen more advances in how to cope with autism than we have on preventing, let alone curing it. But even just coping better with autism goes a long way for everyone involved. And some dedicated parents think that they found an effective approach. That's thanks to, of all things, a swimming pool and an unusual swim team.
They're all autistic. So that's the common denominator for all our athletes, which is not very common for a swim team.
25 freestyle, you're gonna flip the wall, backstroke coming back, okay? Okay. All right, here we go, 2 laps.
My husband and I started our own swim team for our son, who's autistic. Then the word got out. Parents telling other parents, and we have 17 kids right now.
1, 2, 3, go! You gotta swim!
Let's go, Rohit, come on! Swim. Move your arms, Rohit, come on, you gotta move them.
A lot of these kids don't have friends. One time or other, all of our kids have been ostracized. And for them to be a part of a team is unbelievable.
The film is called Swim Team, and there's a showing of it tonight at RPM at Rye High School in Rye, New York. And for more on the film and also about the swim team and how it's helping these kids cope with autism, we're joined now by the film's director and producer, Lara Stolman. And for people who say, wait a minute, I think I may have come across this, it's had its theatrical release. People can catch it on Netflix right now. They may have seen it on PBS, but the idea is that this film should make its way into schools, and that the schools and the kids themselves, they can see this, hopefully with more empathy and understanding for a population that too often is shunted to the side. Do I have that right?
Yes, thank you. It's a great, we've done over 150 events actually all over the country, and it's a wonderful community engagement opportunity to get people out of their houses, whether they're touched by autism or developmental disability or not, and talk about, you know, these raising kids with challenges, unexpected challenges.
This is a passion project for you, and you've been involved in putting documentaries together for a long time as a professional career, but you have 3 kids and your middle child is on the spectrum. And you quickly discovered what a lot of other parents do, which is things aren't set up to help these kids succeed, and it is a fight for parents, from everything to get a school bus to the kid, for them to be mainstream for the kid, to find programs where they can be like other kids. It is a challenge, and you kind of stumbled into this swim team, and I think it's interesting both why swimming of all things is important for kids with autism, but also what you found when you ran into the hammerheads.
Yes, swimming is important for children with autism because drowning is the leading cause of death for kids on the autism spectrum. So, you know, for my family, it was really important that our son learn how to swim.
And as I understood, if I got this right, it's because kids on the spectrum tend to wander, and also they don't have that genetic fear component that many people have. That's what makes them so trusting and believing, but also they don't have a fear of jumping into a pool, let's say, even if they're not equipped to swim, right?
Right, and a lot of kids with autism, like my kid, actually love water, and they're drawn to it. It's a very appealing proposition, actually, so to jump into a pool, whether they know how to swim or not. So swimming is very important, and I was looking for swimming lessons for my son when I found these people, and I found this incredible coach and his wife and their team in formation at the time. And what struck me about them was that they had very high expectations for the team. And when you're raising a child with a disability, that's very unusual. I say we live in a low expectations culture, unfortunately, and I didn't even realize it until I met these people. They wanted this team to dominate the competition. And no one talks that way about kids with autism.
And we're going to meet the kids, more of the kids there in a second, but talk about running the gamut. You had kids that were elite swimmers to other kids that were, you know, learning how to swim here. I want to play another clip here, and what I think it speaks to, if I get this right, is the challenges not just for the here and now for the kids, but the expectations for the kids as they grow older and turn into adults.
He's in the 11th grade, and he's at a 4th grade level. There's no resources for these kids. They talk to us about we will send him to Walmart so he can learn how to stock. They're not giving him the skills, and they're not targeting where it will help him maybe get a job and something that he has a passion for.
Look, guys, we need a meeting. We need a meeting. Look, guys, if you want to get medals, you have to do it what we do. So you have to follow what me and Mike does. So you have to follow the captain. But we're not balls. We're teaching you how to be faster than the kids. So you want gold medals? Not bronze. You want gold? You have to work hard for this.
He talks about being a coach one day and teaching others how to swim. It's finding the right resource for him and someone to work with him.
You turn it loose, right?
Gotcha, coach.
What's that?
Gotcha, coach.
All right, you got it? All right, all right.
Parents with children on the spectrum, and you can't put one size fits all by any means, but they know it's hard. But the constant thing I find is it shouldn't be as hard as it is. There should be more help. And especially if you believe that, you know, it's a village, right? And every kid should have a shot. There's no team set up for them. A lot of school districts make it a challenge. You have to be an advocate, an attorney to get things done here. And you see it to a degree without these amazing coaches, right? Where else would these kids have a shot? And when people see that, they can realize, I mean, this is an investment that pays off 100-fold, not just for the kids, but for their families too.
That's what's so great about the swim team, actually. That's one of the reasons why I made the film is, you know, when people come together in a common enterprise, you know, even in a sports team, wonderful things can happen. You know, on this team, parents were able to exchange information about all kinds of things, you know, not just education and treatment of autism, but jobs. You know, parents now are starting companies for their kids with autism so that they will have jobs that are meaningful. And so many wonderful things are happening because parents are coming together in that village, as you say, and creating opportunities.
And we're bringing up a graphic now to tell people where they can check out the film and how to see it as well if they're not in the Westchester area tonight. I strongly suggest you folks check this out. Whether or not you have a child with it, it's about the human condition and the potential of it. Laura, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And as I said, Swim Team currently available on Netflix and also be airing on PBS sometime soon. We're going to wrap up RFL after this break. Please stay with us. And if you're a sports fan, so we're talking sports, I'll give you a hint. It's got something to do with Tiger.